Pike County Fiscal Court has been called to order. Madam Clerk, have a roll call. The members, please.
Judge Rutherford.
Present.
Master Anderson.
Here.
Master Johnson. Here. Master Murphy.
Here.
Master Robinson. Here. Master Dodson.
Here.
Master Harris.
We'll now have the Pledge of Allegiance by Magistrate Murphy, who's a veteran.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Need approval of the minutes of April the 2nd. Jeannie went over those yesterday and found them to be correct. So I have a motion. You have it in your packet. Motion, Master Robinson, have a second. Master Anderson, have a roll call vote, please.
Master Anderson.
Yes.
Master Johnson. Yes. Master Murphy.
Yes.
Master Robinson. Yes. Master Dodson.
Yes.
Master Harris is absent. Judge Rutherford.
Yes. Nobody signed in for public comments. Next, we continue to honor people in this county, and especially as ambassadors to Pike County, that gives not only Pike County but Central Appalachia that gets attention. Some gets national attention, some local, some state. But it's something that we need, and we are blessed to have today the Jimmy and Teresa Kahn and their 6-year-old son, Keaton. All of us know about Keaton. Pat and I was at the Expo Center, and it's unbelievable how that it blossomed. The Mother Teresa said time they got to church next day that the word had beat them there. But national attention. We've been blessed in Central Appalachia to have Miss Kentucky, who was also in a national pageant, who got the opportunity to even mention the word Hatfield and McCoy. So this is a great opportunity for us to honor a very 6-year-old Keaton Kahn. I went over to his mother and dad this morning, and the hand that I looked down, sticking out to shake hands with me, was this little gentleman of 6 years old, Keaton Kahn. Has their aunt with him, and she is as proud of him as all of us are proud of him. But he's traveled, and they have traveled at his young age to different areas of this country, promoted him on about every channel of Fox and Friends, Good Morning America, Ryan Seacrest, Inside Edition, WYMT, East Kentucky Broadcasting, our local paper, the News Express, and their Floyd County paper, and and Mr. Greenfield, we decided that Pike TV, as soon as they got all of this done, that Pike TV, which we're blessed to have Pike TV and Al Greenfield and his staff, that are able to get into approximately 40,000 homes in Central Appalachia now. We are all of Mingo County, part of Logan, all of Martin, all of Floyd, and just going on, I understand, up to the Buchanan County and to part of Dickerson County in Virginia with Pike TV. So we wanted to let you all get settled down and Keaton get settled down in this role that he's had. And today we certainly want to pay tribute to the Kahn family. We all know about the Kahn family and what they've meant to past generations as we settled eastern Kentucky and Central Appalachia. But most of all, we're here to honor a little ambassador. We've got Brandon said we ought to get a something for him that he can keep the rest of his life. And we usually leave that up to Mr. Collier at T&D, and he thought, well, he needs it a little bigger, and it seemed like what Brandon brought was almost as tall as Keaton. But it's something that he can have the rest of his life, and it's an honor that he brought to Pikeville, Pike County, Floyd County, and the Eastern Kentucky Expedition Center. I'm on the board, Judge Hayes on the board. He's going to read the resolution. And then I know when I talked yesterday to Teresa, she said, well, he's asked to dance. I said, we'll have him a stage ready for him to dance this morning. So Judge Hayes, as I stated, he's a member of the East Kentucky Expo Board, and we discussed it at our last board meeting of the publicity that we had gained, and talked about the little ambassadors.
Judge, this is a resolution of the Pike County Fiscal Court recognizing Keaton Kahn as Eastern Kentucky sensation, whereas Keaton Kahn is a little boy from Eastern Kentucky who has become an internet sensation, and whereas videos of 6-year-old Keaton Kahn dancing at a concert in Pikeville have flooded social media, and whereas the video of a little boy dancing his heart out at the Rascal Flatts concert captured the attention of thousands, and whereas upon meeting 6-year-old Keaton Kahn, one quickly realizes that the word shy is not in his vocabulary, and whereas his video has gone viral with hundreds of thousands of views and national attention, but nevertheless his mom says that Keaton is just being Keaton, and whereas Keaton's mom, Teresa, says she had no idea that when she took him to see the Rascal Flatts concert that he would become the newest internet sensation, and whereas Keaton says he was just having fun to his favorite song, Sexy, and I Know It, and whereas Keaton, when asked where he learned his moves, said it just comes naturally, and whereas Keaton's family says they are proud of their little man, whose dancing days seem to be far from over, and whereas YouTube videos of Keaton dancing at the concert have received nearly 400,000 views, now therefore be it resolved, the Pike County Fiscal Court acknowledges Keaton Kahn for not only his dancing ability, but for being an Eastern Kentucky sensation. Witness this our hands, this the 16th day of April, 2013, and executed by the County Judge Executive, County Attorney, and all 6 Pike County magistrates.
So if you got your boom box ready, and Brandon, you can have the family bring him up, and we'll ask everybody in the courtroom to participate, because he likes everybody to participate, folks. Everybody, if you want to stand, the commissioner directors are going to move. And everybody. Started up. Yeah. we would ask that Brandon, we're on Pike TV. We need to get the presentation made and move on with our meeting.
Do we need a motion?
Ask the family to come around, please. And if magistrates, we'll have to do it up here and move my chair. Please, it's all been organized, and move the chair. Have the family come up with him, please, around here. And the magistrates get behind us, and we'll make the presentation. Let's let Keaton.
I'd break a bone trying.
Right there.
Okay.
I'm gonna let you and your dad hold that for
Okay.
him up here, and if your
Look
dad gets to
here.
go right. Now, we need to get, so everybody can be seen, including the court. Judge Hayes, you better get over here, you're gonna miss it.
Come on over here, Hillman.
Hillman, come on. I think you have the proclamation to give them. If you have it ready for me, you want to send it to them when Magistrate Harris is not here. He'll mail it to them. Thank you all. Appreciate it.
So I'll teach you how.
That'll hold me and you both.
So yeah, I'm gonna teach you how to dance.
Good job, buddy.
Yes. We need to get a motion on the resolution. Motion, Magistrate Anderson. Have a second. Have a second, Magistrate Murphy. Have a roll call vote, please.
Mr. Anderson?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. Murphy?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson? Mr. Dotson?
Yes.
Judge Rutherford?
Yes. On the agenda next, I think we got 3 issues we're going to take up for the Sheriff's Office, complying with the Kentucky Revised Statute. And Mr. Friend, I think, is present. Steve, we need to acknowledge receipt of the Pike County Sheriff's Audit Report for the year ended December 31, 2011. And that's been filed, I understand, with the clerk. Do you have your copy, Madam Clerk?
Yes.
We have the copy. Acknowledgement of a receipt, and Mr. County Attorney, if this need to be separate, can we do these two together? Acknowledge or receive the Pike County Sheriff's Settlement 2011 for taxes for the period of April 19, 2011, April 17, 2012. Okay, the first is on the exception of the Sheriff's Audit Report for the year ended December 31, 2011. Do I have a motion? Motion, Magistrate Murphy, second, Magistrate Robinson. Have a roll call vote, please.
Mr. Anderson?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. Murphy?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson? Mr. Dotson?
Yes.
Judge Rutherford?
Yes. We need acknowledgement to receive the Pike County Sheriff's Settlement 2011 taxes for the period April 19, 2011, April 17, 2012. I have a motion.
Motion.
Have a motion, Magistrate Johnson. Have a second, Magistrate Robinson. Have a roll call vote, please.
Mr. Anderson? Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. Murphy? Yes. Mr. Robinson? Mr. Dotson?
Yes.
Judge Rutherford?
Yes. Next, for the adoption of a resolution authorizing the county judge executive to sign an agreement with the Corps of Engineers for law enforcement services at Fishtrap Law. Steve Friend and I was talking back in the early 70s. Steve worked for the court, and we was able to file an application and to get this law enforcement for Fishtrap Reservoir. Prior to that time, if you got a citation in Fishtrap Reservoir, you had to go to court in Catlettsburg before a federal magistrate. So we felt that our people who was visiting the area and had violations shouldn't have to make that costly trip. And Steve, that was on the old road before they had even built the 4-lane down 23. So we was able to get that for the county. Some years they didn't fund it because lack of funding. The Corps of Engineers budgets have been cut, but that's gone on since the early 70s. So need a motion to authorize me to sign this document. Need a motion. Master Robinson, second Master Johnson. Have a roll call vote, please.
Master Anderson.
Yes.
Master Johnson.
Yes.
Master Murphy.
Yes.
Master Robinson.
Yes.
Master Dodson.
Yes.
Judge Rutherford.
Yes. Steve, you need anything else? Thank you. We need adoption of resolution naming April 27, 2013 as Autism Awareness Day. That project was a project that was started out of the County Judge Executive Office on behalf of the Pike County Government, the Pike County Fiscal Court, and it has been very successful. The city of Pikeville is a partner in regard to this. We have a lot of sponsors. Jeannie and they have a committee set up. The committee has been active, and they are getting ready for April the 27th. It is the time. I think we have something on here later, don't we, Brandon? Given the time. The time is Saturday, April 27th, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., and that ceremony is at the Expo Center. If it rains, as it did last year, we'll go inside the Expo Center. If not, we'll be on the stage outside. Do I have a motion by Magistrate Anderson? Do I have a second? Magistrate Murphy, have a roll call vote, please.
Master Anderson.
Yes.
Master Johnson.
Yes.
Master Murphy.
Yes.
Master Robinson. Yes. Master Dodson.
Yes.
Judge Rutherford.
Yes. First, I want to thank Jeannie for reminding me that I had a meeting last night of the Pike County Extension Board because, Carl, they was doing their budget. If I hadn't got there, we wouldn't have had their budget to submit that today and to meet the KSR schedule that's set out. But Jeannie called me at the house and said, you know you got a meeting. And, of course, it being Monday, I was about, as the old-timers would say, pickled out. But had to revive and had to go and had to, we provide 4% of the property tax to the Extension Board for the salaries, so we certainly want to be involved, and it's a great program, a great extension district, and we approved the budget. There was minor changes that was made. That budget begins with a committee called a council, and they make their recommendations, and then the 4 county agents get together, and then they come up with the budget. It's reviewed by the supervisor at the University of Kentucky, then becomes before the board. Then we make any changes or adjustment. There was very few changes. We accepted the low bid on the auditor to do an audit, and we had the actual cost of that, and I remember we changed that to the actual cost instead of the money in the budget. But I think it's a good budget, and the only thing we have to do is acknowledge the receipt of the Pike County Extension Board District budget for 2013-2014. Have a motion by Magistrate Anderson, to have a second by Magistrate Murphy, and have a roll call vote, please.
Master Anderson.
Yes.
Master Johnson.
Yes.
Master Murphy.
Yes.
Master Robinson. Yes. Master Dodson.
Yes.
Judge Rutherford.
Yes. We have one of the best public library systems in Kentucky, and I say that by having traveled this state from Fulton County to Pike County. There's no doubt in my mind that the facilities that we have in this county and the services that's offered. And matter of fact, myself, I took 2 courses on the computer back a few years ago through the library system. But this library system has under construction a new building. Everybody wonders what it is, but it's next to Lowe's. It's a $10 million building. They needed this structure. The local library in Pikeville that they was using, of course, it's not adequate space for a system like in this county. Ultra-modern libraries. This library board is an active board and who's bringing the latest technology in America and in the world to this library. It will be a great asset to the young people of this county and anybody that wants to enhance their ability to understand what's going on in this country and around the world. We live in a global society today. The global market is what runs Wall Street anymore. As we know, when somebody hiccups in Greece, Charles, or over in Germany or some of those countries, look what happens to our stock market in America. So we have today 2 members on this board. One of them is the present chairman, Oscar Blackburn. We knew Oscar, Judge Hayes, because he worked for many years with AT&T and done a lot of work in this courthouse in past years. But Oscar has given his time for years as a member of this board, and when Joe Justice took the judgeship, he moved into the chairmanship, and Joe went on the board. They traded seats. And Joe is back. He's retired now, and he's getting active and assisting the board. The other one is Catherine Childers. Catherine is one of Jeannie's neighbors up to Virgie, Chick's neighbor, lives right up the road from Chick. Kathy does. Kathy was a lady that we all admired because she raised her family and then decided that she wanted to do what she wanted to do since she was a child, and that was to be a school librarian. So she enrolled in college and got a degree and became a librarian for the Pike County school system many years ago. And now she's retired, Jeannie now. I don't know where Kathy's still working. A member of the board. I will recommend those 2 for the appointments on the board. As the members of the court is aware, we don't pick the names. We are given the names by the state librarian, and the state librarian, I just accepted these 2 names because of them in this building period of this 35,000 square feet, $10 million building, which they'll be moving into once completed. That will be available for functions by Pike County Fiscal Court. This building will be. We need to get the square footage, Jeannie, of their conference room or their meeting room, so that when we need to have public meetings and provide places for people to come in and have public meetings, we will have it. We understand that the new theater is restricted, that Pikeville has given the theater company complete control of that building, so it will not be available to either the city or the county. So I'm sure the library board will make it available to city functions and county functions where they needed to get people in to have meetings. So I would recommend Oscar Blackman and Catherine Childers, and I need a motion to approve. Motion by Magistrate Johnson. Do I have a second? Magistrate Robinson. Have a roll call vote, please.
Magistrate Anderson.
Say something before we vote. You know, I've got no problem with Oscar. He's a fine gentleman. But, you know, I'd love to see us down the road be able to get somebody from Phelps area on the board. I noticed, you know, you got them from all over the county. And, you know, living near a library and knowing the needs is very helpful to the input of what we get. And, you know, I just hope in the future that this board will look at somebody from
the other
side of the
county
county.
Submitted was not from Peter
What?
Creek. The other 2 names that was submitted was not from Peter Creek.
That's the reason I mentioned it.
State
You know,
librarian has to do that under the statute. We don't.
they do it down in Frankfurt.
They do it in Frankfurt. Yeah. We have.
Well, they don't know where Phelps is down there, so we'll get them later.
We have lobbied this last session.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about the County Judges Association. I'm talking about CACO. Those 2 lobby groups that lobbies for county government lobbied the legislature this session and had a bill filed to change the law, or as Magistrate Dotson said, that the physical court, the governing body, had a right to put the list together themselves and then appoint the members. So we need to follow up on that. We attend all the state meetings. We need to keep Vince Lang. You need to keep Mr. Tanner, your all's lobbyist, and CACO's lobbyist, We need to keep them, get ready for the next session and see if we can get this passed where, as Magistrate Dotson said, we have some control of the members of the library board. Let me tell you why. It's because 6% under the state law goes to libraries. Whether that is fair, I sometimes have questioned that, but that's what the law says. The other board, the other ones, such as the Extension Board we talked about earlier, they only get 4%. The Health Board, which I am a member and Carl Napier is a member, they only get 4% of the property tax. Sometime back years ago, the legislature misprioritized that money. The 6% ought to went to the Health Board, and the other two boards, in my opinion, ought to went for the 4%. So that's my opinion. Education sure is important, we know that, but you have to have health before you can get education. Now that's, and we know the cutbacks, Carl and I do, because we are one of the few boards that provides nurses for the Board of Education and the City Board of Education for nurses at schools. A lot of counties don't provide that. Most of the counties don't. Some that do has had cutbacks and have had to cut them off this year. We are still struggling because of the Medicaid reimbursement situation in Kentucky to keep those nurses out to our schools, which is highly important with these blessed children in our schools to have a nurse on site, and especially those with diabetes where they have to administer their medication, and other diseases that nurses have to and need to administer the medication for them. But Magistrate Dotson, you're exactly right. That law ought to be changed, and we need to work on it to get it changed.
Well, I noticed you got two from Virgie, you know, one would be sufficient, and one from that side of the county to see the needs that they need at that library. You know, we've got a nice library, and they're doing a good job, but also we need some representation, as we did on the other boards. You know, we're part of Pike County. I hope.
She did,
Do you want me to call the roll?
Need a motion?
We have a motion.
Got a motion, and did you get the vote, Madam Clerk?
Magistrate
Call the
Anderson?
roll.
Sorry. Magistrate Anderson?
Yes.
Magistrate Johnson?
Yes.
Magistrate Murphy?
Yes.
Magistrate Robinson?
Yes.
Magistrate Dotson?
Yes.
Magistrate Harris? I'm sorry, absent. Judge Rutherford?
Yes. Need approval for the Kentucky Division of Abandoned Mines to fill property at Blackberry McCarr Senior Citizen Center. And I think Bobby Branham, you have been involved in that, and Hillman, you have been involved in that. And we got a map up on the wall. If you'll see the circle, that's where we're authorizing to be filled. And so Magistrate Dotson or Bobby, come around to the microphone if you want to participate in this.
Judge, while he's coming around there, we had a meeting over at the Blackberry Senior Citizens Center last week with Eugene Gibbs and Carl Napier and the guy that's over the geocaching. And they're going to need that facility for 2 days. And they're expecting between 500 to 1,200 people to participate in that in a Friday and Saturday evening. And I think that we had a real good meeting, and they agreed to let the seniors cook the dinner and the evening pig roast for them, and they're going to pay them a pretty good little chunk of money to do that, and they're going to put the money into the Senior Citizen Center. And while we were there, some questions came up about the parking area, and this little place that Bobby's talking about here will be helpful for our parking and camping. And I believe it would be to the county's advantage to go ahead, and there's just a bunch of debris that people's hauled in there, and they're supposed to level it off, ain't they, Bobby, and dress it up when they get done. But I'll let Bob go ahead and then I'll finish up.
Okay, Bobby Brown.
Yeah, I think Frank and I both had talked to him. I think Eugene Gibbs too, and I don't know if Hillman did, to Carl Mullins, was the AML guy that was up here. And it looks like that they've got permission to fill next to us, and it looks like they'll put some fill over about where the road goes up to the center, and like I say, they'll have a dozer there and they'll dress the rest of it up. They're not gonna hinder us any. They're gonna help us more than anything, I think, and dress it up where we can keep it mowed and maybe usable for parking or something. Level it all out nice. It'll work out fine, I think.
Okay, need a motion from Mr. Dodson.
Judge, I'd like to make a motion, and I hope we get that done. And we might need another motion, but we've got a fence over around a tennis court that's not being used. And I guess it's been, I let Eugene go to Mike if he don't care and explain about the tennis court, but it's not any purpose right now. And we need that for when they come over for them 2 days they're going to put picnic tables and things, and they're going to have a band for music. But this area would serve as a parking area for the Senior Citizen Center also. But I wanted to get you and the court's approval. You know, tennis courts are hard to get, but if they're not used, they're hard to maintain and keep up. And to my knowledge, this one has not been used in the last few years. And the seniors recommended that we do this, so.
Okay, we got the recommendation, Mr. Gibbs and the seniors, and we got 2 motions on the floor. One motion suffice, Mr. County Attorney, on both issues.
I do them separate.
Do them separate. Take the first one, approving the dumping of the dirt by the Division of Abandoned Mine Land. Have a motion, Master Dodson, to have a second. Have a second, Master Anderson. Have a roll call vote, please.
Mr. Anderson?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson? Yes. Mr. Murphy?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
Mr. Dodson?
Yes.
Judge Rutherford?
I need a motion to remove the tennis court built in the 70s and for parking and for other uses at the park. Have a motion from Master Dodson to have a second.
Second.
Second, Master Anderson. Have a roll call vote, please.
Mr. Anderson?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson? Yes. Mr. Murphy?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
Mr. Dodson?
Yes.
Judge Rutherford?
Yes. Have a resolution of an interlocal cooperative agreement regarding industrial buildings revenue refunding bonds. Madam Treasurer.
Judge, I'll take that.
Mr. County Attorney.
Judge, this is a refinancing of some industrial revenue building bonds that we did some years ago in conjunction with Hardin County and West Butyl. This is for the parent company of the assisted living facility down on Cedar Creek. The name of that facility is slipping my mind now. Pardon? Cedar Creek Assisted Living. With this resolution, it does not bind Pike County. This allows the refinancing and the issuing of the bonds and for them to get favorable rates. We do not guarantee these bonds, and they do not affect our bond rating. And I will defer to the treasurer now to reassure
Madam
that
Treasurer.
this does not affect our bonding capacity.
No, that's why they're issuing it under City of West Butyl, Kentucky, since we've already almost come to the 10 million bank qualified with our 8 million, and then what we'll do with the road fund at the million and something on the dump trucks and the solid waste transfer. So we wouldn't be able to take any more bank qualified loans out this year. So that's why they're doing it under another city.
Let me explain that the Phelps Nursing Home was built under these industrial revenue bonds by the Pike County Fiscal Court in the past, and other facilities has been built in the past using industrial revenue bonds. It gives them a break in regard to their interest rate, and it brings jobs and keeps jobs in the area. So need a motion?
Motion.
Motion from Master Dodson. Have a second. Master Anderson. Have a roll call vote, please.
Mr. Anderson?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson? Yes. Mr. Murphy?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
Mr. Dodson?
Yes.
Judge Rutherford?
Yes.
And Judge, just to make sure the record's correct, I also need a motion to adopt for you to sign the interlocal cooperation agreement.
Need a motion to authorize the county judge executive to sign all documents in related to this project.
Motion.
Motion, Master Anderson, second. Second, Mr. Murphy. Have a roll call vote, please.
Mr. Anderson?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. Murphy?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
Mr. Dodson?
Yes.
Judge Ruth?
We're going to go away from the agenda a little bit. We have a closed meeting with an attorney on litigation. And we're going to, Hillman, if you will make the motion, put us into executive session. It won't be long. It'll be very short. We'll be right back out and continue to the agenda for the court meeting.
Yeah, let's do it for personnel too, get that done.
Personnel, we'll do it while we're in there. Very, very little to do on it since the jobs are precious. You don't have anybody leaving their jobs, and we don't have many job openings. But we'll do that while we're in there, and we won't have to go back into closed session.
Judge, according to Article 61.810, I'd like to make a motion that we go into executive session to discuss specific personnel and discuss the proposal on pending litigation.
Have a motion, have a second. Have a roll call vote, please.
Mr. Anderson? Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. Murphy? Yes. Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
Mr. Dodson?
Yes.
Judge Ruth?
Yes. Pike County Fiscal Court will go back in session. I will need a motion to take us back into session, please. Do I have a motion? Have a motion, Master Anderson, second from Master Robinson. Have a roll call vote, please.
Mr. Anderson? Mr. Johnson? Mr. Murphy?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
Mr. Dodson, I just saw, and Judge Rutherford.
Yes. Judge Hayes, who's Personnel Director, and Ms. Dameron has a recommendation for us. Judge Hayes.
Thank you, Judge. Two jobs posted this time. The first one, Packer truck driver, solid waste area number 2 at Belcher, a 3H rate of pay. Two bidders, one of whom had already cross-bid within the last 12 months. The qualified eligible employee for that position is Richard Mullins, and we recommend Richard Mullins for that position. The next one was a truck driver, road lot number 1 at Johns Creek, 3H rate of pay. 3 people bid on that, and we're going to pass that matter, Judge, till the next court meeting. That's my recommendation on that one. Next, we need approval to hire Caleb E. McKinney as a temporary replacement truck driver for road lot number 1 at a 3H rate of pay. That would be effective April 4, 2013. He will be replacing, he is replacing Gregory Ray, who had bid in another position. Next, we need approval to hire Ronnie D. Dotson as a seasonal weed mower for the Public Works Department at a 2H rate of pay, effective April the 8th, 2013. Need approval to hire Tracy D. Lyons as a temporary replacement mini packer driver for solid waste area number 2 at a 3H rate of pay, effective April 4, and he is replacing Greg Phipps, who bid in another position. Next, Judge, we need approval to rescind the resignation of Clyde Sexton Jr. and to reinstate him to his position as mini packer driver at solid waste area number 1 at a 3H rate of pay. That will be effective April 17th. Also, Judge, we need to approval to hire Clyde Sexton Jr. as a temporary truck driver for road lot number 5 at a 3H rate of pay, effective April the 11th, and to terminate on April the 17th. He had temporarily taken that position, but now will move back into his old position. Excuse me, Judge. The next matter is that we need approval for Lisa Little to temporarily replace Lana Roberts as office manager of the Public Works at a 3A rate of pay effective April the 15th. Ms. Roberts is off on sick leave. Next, we need approval for Connie Chapman to move into Lisa Little's place temporarily as head of housekeeping for the Public Works Department at a 1A rate of pay effective April the 15th. And of course, that will be for so long as Ms. Little temporarily replaces Mrs. Roberts. And Judge, the final thing we need, we recommend approval of allowing our county employees to have a half a day off on Friday. That's Hillbilly Days, and it goes without saying what happens here in the Pikeville on that day, and so we want to encourage our county employees to come down and take part of the great county city festival of Hillbilly Days.
Any questions in regard to that? If not, I'll have a motion to approve. That'd be my recommendation and my motion. Have a second. Have a second, Master Robinson. Have a roll call vote, please.
Magistrate Anderson.
Yes.
Magistrate Johnson.
Yes, that's all. Nothing else. Nothing else. Just while she's off from work. No, no, gosh, no. Yeah, no problem.
Master Johnson, she is off on sick leave right now, and as we always do, that's standard procedure of this court. We have to. I am not after the girl, and I resent you saying that. That is a bald-faced lie. I have said what I want to, mister, and you and I have been friends a lot of years, and I'm really, really insulted that you would say that.
Now, wait a minute.
This girl got this job without Chick Johnson knowing anything about it. Roger Ford done.
Now, there you go. Now, that's there you go. I said, there you go.
So now the girl's got the job, now you all made it Roger Ford, now you want to get rid of it.
That is not true. That has nothing to do with it. And we also, Judge, need approval to move that position over to where the workplace should be with the Director of Public Works, Damus Ramey. The position was located here. There's no commissioner here. That's why it was here, and it ought to be with the people. So we need to add that to the recommendation. Thank you, Judge.
The Director of Public Works does not have anything to do with this building or the Justice Building. That is Terry Rogers. This court, by resolution, gave this building and the Justice Building to Terry Rogers. He is the maintenance engineer. Damus Ramey office is over to the county garage. Damus, when we didn't fill the position for budgetary reasons, Damus was given the position as the next person in line. His office is over there. He has no reason to be, and never has been, at the desk over here. There was no place for him to take his secretary with him. He had been remodeling over there for a number of months when they had time of getting it in shape so that he could bring his secretary over there. When that was completed, the only thing was done, nobody firing anybody. As far as I'm concerned, she had done a good job. As far as I know, she had done a good job. So the only thing we said is now, since he's got your office ready for you, is go on over there. Then she says, if I go, I have nobody to talk to. Well, if you do your work, you don't need to be talking to anybody, is what I say. And I know she's called everybody. She's had everybody in the Sun call me, but there's nothing personal to this, period, at all. It's just she needs to be over there where a boss is. What does she do over here? She's the one that keeps the record of assigning people out to work every day in that department. Got no business to be in this building. Judge Hayes, would I send him over to the county garage and him my assistant? No, he needs to be here with me. So that's the only thing, there's nothing personal. And I know that Magistrate Johnson has got the call just exactly like I have, like somebody trying to do something to her. Nobody trying to do nothing to anybody. But everybody needs to be where their boss is. And that was all. Judge Hayes come and asked me. He said they got the place ready. I said, call her in and tell her. So him and Jeannie called her in, didn't want to go. What happens then? Goes out and gets a doctor slip and off 30 days. That's fine. If the doctor says she needs to be off, she's off. But that's going to cause us now, working with the county attorney's office, to change the code. We can't have people go to the doctor and just get a slip because they don't want to be taken where their boss is. Heck, you know, you can't be off for hillbilly days, so you go get you a doctor slip and you're off 20 or 30 days because you don't want to do what you need to be told to do. So we're going to run this county and operate this county in a manner it ought to be operated in. We need to get people where Damus can have somebody over there to assist him and not have somebody sitting out in left field or right field where he can't get work done. And Damus does not have any responsibility in this building or the Justice Building. This body turned it over to Terry Rogers, and rightfully so. Terry does a great job. And Terry's job's going to be enlarged, but nobody's doing nothing. All these rumors and some of the people in this room right here, or was in this room, as part of the rumors that's going around about somebody trying to do something to somebody. We're not trying to take her job, period, out. And I resent that. Judge Hayes resents that. But I can understand what Magistrate Johnson's gone through up there. They've had everybody that I know. I bet you I've received 20 calls up there like we were going to fire. There's no controversy on our part whatsoever. We're not looking for no controversy. Don't have any with it. We'll just send her over there where her boss is. So do I have a motion? You got a motion on it to have a motion, and do you have a second, Madam Clerk?
Yeah, we need
Have
to.
a motion, second, have a roll call vote, please.
Master Anderson
Yes.
has already said yes, and Master Johnson has voted. You didn't vote yes or no.
But now, Liz, it ain't nothing against you, you're a good person. And this goes through, I hope you get the job. I just think that doing the girl wrong, made that piece of people. This public works thing has been run out of that hall ever since I can remember, since I've been in there.
But you don't have the boss there now. See, Damus took the position, and he's over at the county garage. See, the Obie, well, we didn't fill that position. We didn't fill the position. Go ahead, Madam Clerk. I understand, no problem. I understand. Not us. Had no idea to get rid of her. Don't want rid of her. Does a good job.
Nothing against Liz or nobody else. I mean, she's a good worker too. She's good. So you're just trying to make a bunch of people mad at me because I have to say this.
No, I got the same calls. I bet I got the same calls you got.
Magistrate Murphy.
Someone calls it, I did.
We didn't cause it pure. We just sent her over to the boss.
Magistrate Murphy. Master Robinson. Master Dodson.
Yes.
Judge Rutherford.
Yes. Next is on the agenda is the awarding of bids. You have anything, Mr. Stacy? Magistrate Roadwork.
Motion.
Magistrate Anderson, you have a motion, have a second. Magistrate Murphy, have a roll call vote, please.
Magistrate Anderson.
Yes.
Magistrate Johnson. Magistrate Murphy. Magistrate Robinson. Master Dodson.
Yes.
Judge Rutherford.
Yes. Magistrate's comment, Magistrate Anderson.
Judge, are we going to do this now or later?
We can do it under my business. if you
Okay,
want to.
that'll be fine. Just real quick, like to welcome everybody here for Hillbilly Days. I'm hoping the weather is going to be cooperative. Maybe, I'm sure some of the people that are going to be staying all night are going to be watching Pike TV, and we hope they have a good time. I think maybe they're giving rain Thursday, last I heard. Then I think good weather from then on out. So hopefully we'll have it'll be a good week and a good event. Everybody have a good time. That's all I have.
Master Johnson. Magistrate Murphy. Good job. Magistrate Roberts. Magistrate Dodson.
Judge, got a few things. Want to bring the attention to you in the court. They've started our bathrooms over to Hatfield McCoy
That picture
Park.
on here to put up.
And Brandon, I think, has got a picture of the new construction they've started on it. And there we go.
That location's over to the right of your picture if you look on your monitor.
Yeah, where you see the pile of dirt. But
Magistrate Dodson, I think we discussed that you and Damus, of course, needs to be the overseers on that project as it gets started.
And Judge, you can see on the porch of the stage the lumber that's piled up. It's already been delivered and it is to be put in use as soon as we figure out how we're going to do it, to do the dressing rooms and the bathroom for the stage for the play. And they've already got the shows scheduled, and the first one is July the 29th. It looked like they've got a pretty good schedule. And also they've got some flyers out with anybody that wants to get involved in doing these plays to contact this number. And hopefully, Stephanie and the group is putting together a good play, and I think it will be helpful for the county to get involved in that. But right now, we need, Damus wasn't able to be here today due to medical reasons, but we need to either let a contract out on building that dressing rooms, or wait until we get some people in our crew to do it, whatever pleasure that you might.
Lisa, would you make that note and get to Damus? Damus was off, had to go to doctor today. And let me add that Chris Harris was on spring break with his family. It's the reason he's not here today. Magistrate Dodson.
But also, I think it's going to be a good thing, and you can see the park, how beautiful it is, and we're hoping to get a good crowd. And we've started cleaning up some debris from the other side of the road there to make it look better, and I want to thank the crew for doing that. And the meeting we had up at Blackberry Community Center the other day, Carl came over and Eugene. I think it was a real good meeting, and we are looking forward to that weekend to have all them people in up there, and I think they've got it covered pretty good on their end on what they're going to do, and there'll be some flyers, I guess, go out to take care of that. Carl, you got anything you want to say on that while I'm discussing it?
Just as you said, Master Dotson, it was a good meeting. The meeting was with Kelly Moore with the geocaching, and we appreciate the opportunity. I think it will definitely be a good event for the county, and I look forward to working with them.
And Judge, I stopped at Kemper Center on the way over this morning, and Carl had called me and said the Blacktop crew has called her, and they're wanting to do the paving, about 3-4 weeks?
The gentleman with Mountain Enterprise said that they would be doing the blacktopping at the new Phelps Elementary School starting the week of the 22nd. And he said after that, he would then contact us about paving the parking lot at the community center.
Hatch, you need to get involved in that if you need to, scheduling.
Judge, I think there's about $4,000 involved in them preparing the site, and I told Carl that we could do that and use that money to go toward more blacktop.
Yep.
So we're looking forward to get that little project completed over there, and it's looking real good. And on closing, I'd like to say that, I still am asking and pleading with the people to get us some funding for 632 and 194. I was noticing yesterday all the big trucks, and it's hard on them truck drivers to try to maneuver them big trucks on the roads that we have to operate on, and I just hope the governor and our legislators will try to put some money in there to help do some things on that road over there. Yeah. And I just want to thank you and all your staff for what we're doing. I think we're going to try to get a meeting here in the next week to start going to the companies to work on these trail rides, and I'm anxious to see what they say when we report it back. Me and Daniel, I think, is going to try to do that after Hillbilly Days. He's already contacted some people, and we're going to try to get something going on that.
Good shape. Brandon, would you pull up next our announcements, and then we'll go to the treasurer and try to get through our agenda. We give you an update, Magistrate Dotson and myself, in regard to the bathrooms at Hatfield McCoy Park. You have that update. Judge Hayes is not in here now, but I had to be in a meeting in Frankfurt, and him and Magistrate Johnson, they attended the homeless veterans housing, a project of the Pike County Fiscal Court and the Mountain Comp up to Robinson Creek on property that belongs to the county that we gave them a lease on. And of course, we try to do everything we can for our veterans, and this is another example of this court's dedication to the service of our veterans, what they've done for our country and the freedom that we have in this country. And next we had on it the ATV Training Exercise, and I want to thank Pike TV for running that, and to being there. It was a windy and cool day, but Eric had to get on top of where the radio box is, and I know that he's about to blow off up there, but it was a good program, a program sponsored by the Belfry High School, Pike County Board of Education, and the principal to high school, and also the Agriculture Department of the Commonwealth of Kentucky and its commissioner. And this was great. It was something, a training tool, and something to let our young people know how dangerous ATVs are and how the equipment ought to be purchased. We certainly was saddened shortly after we had this, and go back and put that up on the screen. I was saddened after we had this exercise over there that we lost a 12-year-old girl over to Johns Creek on an ATV. And we know with our trail system, we're working on that. We're waiting on the county attorney to work with others to get the paperwork done, that we'll have approximately 3,000 acres. Safety is a concern that we have. We commended the Agriculture Commissioner, Mr. Comer, for bringing that to eastern Kentucky and to Pike County. And what a training exercise it was. They brought the medevac in, the helicopter in, as you know, us over there. They had the coroner there, they had the police there, they had the state police, they had the county and the constable, they had all the agencies there, they had the emergency management people. Doug and his people was over there. They had them all. The fire departments in that area was all activated, and they was there. It was something to see and hope that it made an impact on not only those students that was there filling those stands up behind one side of this facility from Belfry, but all of the schools and all the children in the county and everybody that viewed this of how dangerous an ATV can be without proper training. Go ahead and turn it to the next one. Then we had a groundbreaking with Mountain Water District up on top of the mountain at Ridgeline Road. We all know that an application was filed for some $23 million, if I remember. We put a package together, and the Office of Surface Mining was part of the package, and they did not fund their portion. They did fund, and it's hard to understand how they funded Hurricane Creek and didn't fund the other two. We appealed that. We lost the appeal. We're going to appeal it again because one of the ladies up there said that they had a mine that water broke out 2 or 3 years ago, and that the coal company had to come in and ended up having to pump the water out of the mine because they would cause pressure and could cause deaths and worse their homes off. So in regard to that project, we ended up with coal severance tax. We prioritized it. We all know where Magistrate Murphy, the work that he has done, he committed himself and when he got elected magistrate to get water to that area. This body, for many, many years, and I'm talking about going back to Judge Dameron and to Judge Gibson, they've hauled water into the Ridgeline Road because they had no potable water. So we have hauled water in there and then made water, drinkable water, available to them for years. We have paid for the water, the Pike County taxpayers through their county government, the Pike County Fiscal Court. We have paid the fire department, paid the expenses for the fire department at Kemper and at Grapevine to haul water in. Then this court, this body, and on a motion of Magistrate Murphy, bought a water truck. Hatch, I think, went up into Pennsylvania where we bought the truck, brought it back here, turned it over to Doug Tackett and Emergency Management. They've ended up now having to haul their water in there by their employees at times to make sure these people had water on that section of the county. So we're going to continue to work for funding to get the rest of those people water, potable water, on a system that, and Rhonda James is the chairman of the Water District. That board has been very active. Magistrate Murphy thanked them for getting what they could get up there to get that portion and get these people served on Johnnyton. The second phase brings a water tank, and not only the water lines, but a water tank that goes on in. And we have the engineers present today. Jody Hunt, you are back here if you have anything to say on this project, but they are present, and they're going to continue to work on this project also to help us get funding, if possible, to go ahead and provide everybody water. We are blessed again to have the largest county and land area in this Commonwealth and have 98.8% of the homes covered with water. So, I mean, that's unheard of. You go to other counties, very small counties, they'll tell you they got 20 and 25% of the water, just mostly the little communities and nothing out in the rural areas. So go ahead to the next one. If you got Pike County Pride, we partner with Jimmy Dale Anderson Sanders. I'll add that so he'll be satisfied today. We always partner with Pride. We picked up another partner at our last meeting with the new had been acting Mrs. Holbrook. We picked them up as a partner, and they are Hatch. They're also assigning their crews to clean out the ditches. Jimmy Dale was to take down to her what forms they need to fill out, and we explained to her we do it in bags. And Hillman, we took them 25 loads out of Peter Fork that time. We had to break that down into bags, and Chick Johnson met us up there at this, and we got with the students on the cleanup that day. If you go back to that picture, I want to thank the Pike County Sheriff's Office. I want to thank the Kentucky State Police who assigned the enforcement officer to it, and to run their lights that day to keep these volunteers from getting injured on the roadways as they cleaned up the ditches and so forth. So this is spring cleanup. It happens every year. We've won award after award. Pride has their educational program. Do you have anything on here of those, the schools that's involved in it? Do you have anything on here on that? You go down to it, but next we have on here is the Traveling Vietnam Memorial Wall. Folks, we've worked for almost 4 years to get the Vietnam Memorial Wall here. We started out with our congressman with a request to him of who do we contact. We followed up his advice. We contacted him. It ended up with Bobby Branham and Jeannie going to Charleston last year where it was in the area. And then we got it scheduled for this year, and that date is July the 3rd to the 7th. We have partnered with the city of Pikeville, who we will use the soccer field at the Bob Amos Park, and they didn't want it here. We know we'll have a 4th of July celebration. They want it in a solemn place. We're also going to have a what do they call it, a helicopter, Huey H-1 helicopter of this era, which will be for picture taking. It has all of the armament still on it. It's not workable, but it has all the armament on it. It'll be for pictures, for people that wants to come, view the wall and get pictures with their children or pictures. I'm sure then it will be a closure for a lot of people who will never afford to be able to go to the wall in Washington, D.C. It'll be enclosure to some, and this is on July the 3rd to the 7th. Under our contract, we have to have a delegation meet this convoy, and it's a very large convoy because it's the same size of the wall in Washington, but they will meet them at the county line and will be brought in with a procession of a sheriff's police car and a city police car, a motorcade, and a delegation of veterans who will be in it, bringing in to the park, and it will be set up. They are committee put together. We had to move the committee meeting out of our conference room into here because so many people showed up. This will cover West Virginia, Mingo County, Buchanan, Dickerson, Wise, and all the counties of eastern Kentucky. So the days of that is July 3rd and 7th. All the veterans groups are involved, and of course it's again an example of this governmental body wanting to memorialize and to honor our veterans, those who are serving today and those who have served and those who have gave all. Next we have the co-prep. I go to this every year. Leo and I meet down there every year because he's always at this coal prep meeting, and we find out more of what's going on in the coal industry worldwide, not only in our Central Appalachia, but in the country and around the world at this coal prep place. This is the largest one of this type that's in America. And they have another one that's related to this. It's in Las Vegas, but this is the only one called Coal Prep, and it has more vendors than any hatch that I've ever been to of any conference anywhere in the country. They even have to take up part of Rupp Arena every year because the amount of vendors that comes from around the world and around the country for their displays of what they have to sell in our coal industry. And that conference on April the 29th to May the 2nd. Exhibition hall will be open 30th to 2nd. I have never been able to stay all the days. We go to stay, I think it's a day and a half every year because I can't be gone that long. But I always go every year because it's important for us to know what's going on in the coal industry. Next, we had a 460 bridge dedication for up to the new bridge going up 460. As we know, that bridge is going to be open, and this was Jasper and Anna Justice, which owned a piece of property to the left of the bridge facing the new 23. They owned a piece of property there where the bridge was built, and their family, they are deceased. Their family made that request. The legislature passed an act and authorize that that bridge be named after Jasper and Anna Justice at Memorial Bridge. I was in a meeting in Frankfurt with, and Leo attended that meeting, and I had a meeting also at the governor's office prior to that. Judge Hayes, as you notice his picture in this, he attended that on behalf of the Pike County Fiscal Court and county government at the request of the Highway Department, and he assisted Representative Combs in the ceremony of that bridge. And that's all I have today, and Madam Treasurer, I will turn it over to you.
Authorize any necessary transfers and interfund transfers to pay the bills, payroll, health, and life insurance.
Have a motion, have a second. Have a second, Magistrate Robinson, have a roll call vote, please.
Mr. Anderson?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. Murphy?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson? Mr. Dodson?
Yes.
Judge Rutherford?
Yes.
Acknowledge receipt of the previously approved transfers on February 19th and March 5th, and interfund transfers for February 19th.
Do I
gotta
have a
pass
motion?
over the
Motion.
rest.
Have a motion, have a second. Have a second, Magistrate Robinson, have a roll call vote, please.
Mr. Anderson?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson? Mr. Murphy? Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
Mr. Dodson?
Yes.
Judge Rutherford?
Yes.
Acknowledge receipt of the treasurer's February 2013 financial statement. I need to pass over the rest till the next court meeting.
Have a motion.
Motion.
Motion, Magistrate Dodson, have a second.
Second.
Have a second, have a roll call vote, please.
Mr. Anderson?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson? Mr. Murphy? Yes. Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
Mr. Dodson?
Yes.
Judge Rutherford?
Yes.
Authorize payment of the expenditure approval list dated April 15th, 2013, and any other utility and telephone bills received before checks are run. And there's one I need pulled. It's the Kentucky Association of Counties. The IDEA Board needs to pay for the addition of the Coca-Cola building.
Okay. Might add that the finance director and I went over the expenditure list. We had a question on one or two, but we recommend that you authorize the payment of the bills. Have a motion. Motion, Magistrate Dodson, have a second. Magistrate Robinson, have a roll call vote, please.
Mr. Anderson?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson? Mr. Murphy? Yes. Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
Mr. Dodson?
Yes.
Judge Rutherford?
Yes. Mr. County Attorney.
Authorize, no, I don't have a first reading
Don't
budget
have
amendment.
the
I'll have to
first?
do it for the next meeting. Authorize the following checks in the amounts of Frank K. Nall, PSC, pass-through NRCS funds when received, $1,800 from Melissa L. Dameron, closing recording fees and title insurance premium. Pass-through LGDF grant funds, project number 623 to Thankful Hearts Food Pantry, $2,371.02. Whenever we authorized the purchase of the property last court meeting for Magistrate Harris, there were some additional fees on top of the $30,000 for the purchase of property, one being to Frank K. Nall, PSC, closing documents on property purchased from Jonathan P. Matney, $100.
Have a motion.
Motion. Second.
Motion from Magistrate Dodson, second Magistrate Anderson, have a roll call vote, please.
Mr. Anderson?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. Murphy? Yes. Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
Mr. Dodson?
Yes.
Judge Rutherford?
Yes.
I do have some additional treasurer's business. We sent two of our animal shelter employees last week to a euthanasia certification class, Jason Burke to be recertified and Darrell Mullins to get his certification. So I need now to register him with the state of Kentucky for his euthanasia certificate in the amount of $50.
Have a motion. Have a motion, have a second. Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Anderson?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson? Mr. Murphy? Yes. Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
Mr. Dodson?
Yes.
Judge Rutherford?
Yes, Madam Treasurer.
Authorize a check to pass through insurance money to Sycamore Volunteer Fire Department in the amount of $6,330.86 on a claim that was filed.
Motion, Magistrate Robinson, second. Have a second, have a roll call vote, please.
Mr. Anderson?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson? Mr. Murphy? Yes. Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
Mr. Dodson?
Yes.
Judge Rutherford?
Yes.
We need authorization. We're going to put the check on the accounts payable list, but we're going to hold it to a check to Walter Chevrolet Buick for a 2013 Chevy Silverado 3500 for Road Lot 3 in the amount of $31,850 when it arrives.
Motion, Magistrate Murphy, to have a second. Have a second, Magistrate Robinson. Have a roll call vote, please.
Magistrate Anderson?
Yes.
Magistrate Johnson? Yes. Magistrate Murphy? Yes. Magistrate Robinson?
Yes.
Magistrate Dodson?
Yes.
Judge Rutherford?
Yes.
The city of Pikeville submitted an invoice that will be reimbursed back to us by AOC for work on the sidewalk of the Judicial Center in the amount of $21,722.29.
We get that money back, so need a motion. Motion, Magistrate Murphy. Have a second, Magistrate Anderson. Have a roll call vote, please.
Magistrate Anderson?
Yes.
Magistrate Johnson? Magistrate Murphy? Yes. Magistrate Robinson?
Yes.
Magistrate Dodson?
Yes.
Judge Rutherford?
Yes.
The Belfry Volunteer Fire Department has, Rhonda has submitted a disbursement for the rest of their money from their co-severance, but they want the money to stay here, and whenever they present documentation for us to be able to issue checks as needed.
I need to approve the treasurer's recommendation. Have a motion.
Motion.
Motion, Magistrate Anderson. Have a second, Magistrate Murphy. Have a roll call vote, please.
Magistrate Anderson?
Yes.
Magistrate Johnson? Magistrate Murphy? Magistrate Robinson?
Yes.
Magistrate Dodson?
Yes.
Judge Rutherford?
Yes.
I have no further business, Judge.
Mr.
John,
County Attorney.
Judge, excuse me just a minute. John, did Damus call you on that lumber and things so we could get the check issued? Said he was going to, and I didn't know whether.
It's on the list.
Thank you.
Mr. County Attorney.
Judge, as you know, in executive session, we discussed pending litigation, and it would be my recommendation to this court that they give authority to our hard outside counsel and the county attorney's office to settle the pending case that we have against Purdue Frederick within their discretion, and I would recommend that one of the magistrates make that motion.
Have a motion.
Judge, I'll make that motion, and I move we grant our attorney Gary C. Johnson and county attorney authority to settle our case against Purdue Frederick et al. In their sole discretion without further order of the court or county judge executive. It is understood any settlement is to be used for drug rehabilitation or similar projects.
Second.
Would you make that available to the clerk?
I will.
So for the record, you have a motion by Magistrate Anderson, second by Magistrate Dodson. Have a roll call vote, please.
Magistrate Anderson?
Yes.
Magistrate Johnson? Magistrate Murphy?
Yes.
Magistrate Robinson?
Yes.
Magistrate Dodson?
Yes.
Judge Rutherford?
Yes.
One other item, Judge, and as you are aware, you are required by statute to present the proposed budget but prior to May 1st, and I was wondering if you would want to go ahead and maybe discuss with the treasurer when you would want to hold a special meeting to do so.
Court's pleasure is 30th or the 1st, either one. 1st is fine.
Jeannie, did you hear that?
On a Wednesday. May 1st, is that what you think? Correct?
Okay, Attorney, do you need a motion on this?
Judge, you can call the special meeting.
I
I
will
was just
call them.
thinking to give the public
call
and
the-
the court a heads up that if you already knew
I
what
will
date you
call
were.
the meeting, and Jeannie, you and the treasurer agree on the date, and let me know, and I'll call the special meeting. Now, I had asked that you put on my calendar a meeting with the treasurer and the finance director, so I can, so we can start and working on the budget. There are not a lot of changes going to be made because of our money situation, but we need to everybody needs to get on the same page. Anything else, Mr. County Attorney?
That's all, Judge.
If not, motion to adjourn. Have a motion, have a second, Magistrate Robinson, have a roll call vote, please.
Magistrate